guys, it's El Raquel, and today I'm going to talk to you about tips for being a delivery driver. Here's a tip. When you are picking up multiple drinks, sometimes if it's just two, you might go to a restaurant and they'll give you a carrier. You may need to ask for one because sometimes they're in a hurry, you're in a hurry, everybody's in a hurry. So you may need to just remember to ask them because you've got your bag to carry, your big giant warming bag to carry. Then you've got your, you probably got your phone because you have your app on it. Maybe your keys to your car. I don't know if you have Pocket, but anyhow, get a lot of stuff to carry. So ask for a carrier. You might have a 2-pocket carrier, 4-pocket, depending on how many beverages you have to carry. It is my suggestion, if it's enough that will fit in the slots that you have in your vehicle for beverages, it is my suggestion that you use this to carry them to the car, but then once you get in the car, you actually take them out of this and put them in the selected beverage slots in your car. Especially if you live in a monotonous area or a very hilly area. Because, when you put this, even if you put it flat on the floor, yeah, that happened to me. That happened. So, yeah, I would suggest you just use it to carry it to the car. Now, if you live in like somewhere where it's flat and boring, did I say where it's flat, it's boring? I used to live where it was flat at, it was boring. It was flat and boring. Do you guys agree? Wherever it's flat at, does it typically tend to be boring as well? Anywho, so if you live somewhere where it's flat and boring, don't even worry about it. Just put it on the floor. But if you live somewhere like in Atlanta, in the South, where it's hot at. If you live somewhere like that where it's monotonous at, or there may be other geographical areas that are monotonous. I haven't traveled a whole lot. Okay, but take them out of the slot and take them out of this and put them in the beverage slot. If you don't have those beverage slots in your car, not to worry. Just take the large carrier box that they give you for the beverages at the restaurant and wedge it tightly in the back of your seat. Like if you're tall enough, you can push your seat back and put it in between your driver's seat and the back seat, if that makes sense. Keep it tight. Your other option, if you're not tall enough to really do that, or your car is not small enough for you to do that and still reach your pedals, you would have to babysit the drinks in the seat next to you, in the passenger seat, and just keep one hand on it and one hand on the wheel and drive very carefully. It can be done. You just have to be extra careful. Okay, here's another tip. Sometimes you might be delayed bringing an order longer than what the customer thought you would be, because maybe you had 2 orders to pick up. Maybe it's really busy, or maybe something happened and the restaurant took longer, or maybe there was some construction that slowed you down on your way to the customer. So what I would do is at a stoplight, or if you have to pull over, if stoplights are moving pretty fast, and I don't want you to disobey any traffic laws in your area. So if you need to pull over, do that. But what I normally do is I will text my customer and I make a text that says, "Hi, this is WAITR. Sorry for the delay. I am on the way." And then I'll just copy that just in case I have to paste it other times, if it's like a busy day where that's happening a couple times, and just let them know. And usually they'll text back and say, "Oh, that's okay." Oh, I thought of another tip. Use GPS, especially if you're new in the area, or you're a student and that's why you live in that area, or if you live in a big city and there's multiple of the same restaurants. Like we have a restaurant called Los Tarascos, and we have like a couple of, we got one on this side of town, one on that side of town, and say you're just like, "Psh, I got this. I know where Los Tarascos is." You whip it on over to Los Tarascos, and when you get there, they're like, we ain't got no way to order for you. And you're like, but I'm at Los Tarascos. And they're like, we don't got no way to order for you. No way to order for you. And then you look on your app, because everything's on your app. All you had to do is push a button next to the restaurant, and GPS will tell you how to get to the restaurant. You push a button next to the customer, GPS will tell you how to get to the customer. And you realize it wasn't that Los Tarascos, it was the other Los Tarascos on the whole other side of town. So, pay attention to the address. If you're already going to be like, I don't need no GPS to get to the restaurant. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I'm a driver. I'm a professional driver. Okay, pay attention to the address when you have multiple restaurants. Or you know what? To be on the safe side, look, ain't nobody in the car but you anyway. Ain't nobody got, because some people have like a lot of pride about these types of things. Hit that GPS button. You still let your music play, and that little girl they got making the GPS moves, she'll talk to you and tell you, where to go, and then you go to the right restaurant, because it's pre-programmed in on your app which restaurant made what order. So that's a big tip, because that happened. Yes, I've heard of that happening. It wasn't me. No, I didn't. No, never. No, but I heard it's been done. I heard it's been done. Okay, so that is about it. Another thing. Oh, wait. Every time I say that, I just love talking to y'all. Another thing I do is I generally call the customer upon arrival. Because GPS, will tell me how to get there. Unless there's somewhere. Like, here's another tip. Unless they're somewhere like on a campus, because I live in a college town, if they're on a campus, sometimes, GPS will get you in the general location, but you're going to have to call the customer to really find out, the exact dorm building, because GPS is not going to get you right up to the dorm building or door. So, in that case, I will call them like once I get in the area. Another thing you need to know, when we're speaking of GPS, is that GPS will not get you right to the apartment door. It will, get you to the apartment complex. And then once you get to the apartment complex, GPS will try to give you directions, and they'll say you arrived, but you did not arrive. You didn't make it there yet. So you'll want to call your customer, and just as soon as you enter the complex, you'll want to call the customer, and, so you just don't waste time. Unless it's daylight, I don't know what shift you're going to work. If it's daylight and you can kind of clearly see that their apartment is, 803, and the 803 runs in a building 8, and you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's pretty easy to navigate, then, just navigate to the buildings and call them upon arrival. But if it's like some kind of weird apartment numbers and, there's a huge span, I would call them, the property is huge. I would call them, and just as soon as you get like on the property, just to see, do you make a left? What are the directions, the exact directions to their apartment building? Because GPS will not get you right to the door. Now, going back to when I call the customer, I will also call the customer, like I said, upon arrival, just so that way they know I'm there. So I don't want to just get to somebody's door and their dog comes running out, or I don't know. Sometimes people order food and I don't know, they go upstairs where they can't hear the door, they don't have a doorbell. So I just call them and let them know that I have arrived, and then they're expecting us. And then there's a lot of gentlemen, they'll just say, oh, I'll just come all the way outside, so if they're like in an apartment that's way up or something. And sometimes, they won't, but at least they'll know that you're there, and they'll be ready, so because you need to move on with the next order. The other thing is, when you go to different restaurants, like, whatever restaurants your waiter service has contracts with, I would always just grab extra. Don't be greedy with it, but I would grab extra straws, extra like plastic, silverware, napkins, You know, just to have in there in case something happens. Sometimes they don't put the napkins in the bag, or sometimes maybe you have them and they could fall. You know, just to make sure that you have them in case something happens. You have them in there.